Didn't see you there. Fall just started and I'm so excited that I'm gonna make an apple crisp.
Time for Gettin Saucy on the side.
This recipe was passed down to me from my grandmother, although through my mother and father, because I sadly never knew my Grammie Scott. But this is Grammie Scott's apple crisp. I've made other apple crisps. This is the simplest and it's the most delicious, I think, too. So for this recipe, you will need flour, sugar, salt, cinnamon, apples, of course, and butter. Grammie's recipe says to use a pastry blender, which is one of those things with the little strings of wire and you mash down on it. That's more work than I want to do tonight, so I am going to use the food processor, which is a kind of modern pastry blender. You could do it with a pastry blender, as we have discussed. You could do it with a fork. You can also do it with 2 knives if you're all fancy, like an old school Southern grandma. I am not that fancy. So, here's what you need. You need 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and because this is a crisp that isn't really making like proper pastry, it's just making sort of gooey, buttery deliciousness on top. I'm not going to do the scoop and level method as discussed in the cookie episode, if you've been with me for that long, and if you have, well, thanks. Alright, so 3/4 cup of flour. Then, a cup of sugar is what the recipe calls for. However, you need to taste your apples and figure out if they're sweet, maybe you want to back off of the sugar. If you love sugar, then use all of it. I'm going to use 3/4 cup. Partly because I have my 1/4 cup measure out. 1, a 2, I should stop making that joke. A 3. Alright, then you need a teaspoon of cinnamon. Ooh, I'm getting low on cinnamon. There we go. And a pinch of salt. I'm being too thorough. And I said a stick of butter. I didn't say a full stick, but it is a stick, and you want to cut it into pieces, much like you would for a pie dough, because if you have it in pieces and you have it cold, then it's going to make little clumps, this being the international symbol for clumps, or perhaps for mama jellyfish, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so just kind of scatter them about in your food processor or your regular bowl, if you're all old-fashioned. What's happening? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Food processor top is a very important part of this. And pulse. Now we're going to look. That's actually good. It's got the butter in little bits here, there, and everywhere. So I think we're just going to stop there. I don't know, that was like 20 pulses maybe. Just, this is what you want. Look at that. Do it until you get that, and you'll be golden. Okay, apples. These apples are delicious. And they are Fuji apples, which are a little bit sweet. So again, we backed off of the sugar just a little. And I have sliced them thinly. I actually used one of those I've sliced them thinly. I used one of those apple slicer things and then cut them up just a little bit smaller. And yeah, just lay them out in a pan. If you fill the bottom of a 9x13 pan, you probably will have just enough to go with the crisp topping. I am going to remove the blade. I don't want to cut myself. Alrighty. So now, you do that. I mean, this is the glory of the crisp, my darlings, is that you don't need any skill for this nonsense. You just kind of throw it on, and you know what? It's gonna taste like deliciousness. Or some might just say it would taste delicious. So, putting this all over the top, covering things up. I'm going to smack this baby in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. And we will have a delicious dessert that we prepared in, what, like 5 minutes if you don't think about all the peeling and slicing for the apples. That's awesome. And we can make Neil do that. Our crisp is here. And lovely and golden brown, and see all these nice appley juices on the sides? They will be delicious. An additional note, I believe I told you to cook the crisp for about 40 minutes. That is spot on. But at the end, I wanted it a bit more golden brown, so I put it under the broiler for a couple of minutes. Perhaps you'll want to do that too. This has been Gettin Saucy on the side. Yum.